Alright guys, so with the updated tier list for the PvP aspect of the game as of June 2022, it is only fair for me to go over the PvE tier list for June 2022. So here we go guys, I have already created it and I'll just go over some of the things that I want you guys to keep in mind looking at the tier list. And of course, once again, this is going to be based on my experience as well as my opinion. And for me right now, I'm currently in episode 14-22. I've cleared it in dark mode, so I will be continuing on to try to clear all of the episode 14 in dark mode. But that is going to be where I'm coming from. And to start off the list, Crunchy Chip Cookie is placed at S tier guys. So the new cookie that has been added into the game, he is going to be at S tier. I've used him a couple of times inside of dark mode, episode 14, as well as other story modes, and I have to say Crunchy Chip Cookie is going to be another great summoner for you guys to use. His skill allows him to not only deal damage and push away the enemies, but also to summon 2 additional wolves to actually fight for you in the front, along with someone like Cotton as well as Pompon summoning their units. Crunchy Chip is going to provide a great support as well as tanking ability for your team. So I do suggest, if you guys are planning to use Crunchy Chip Cookie for your world exploration, to use something like Fine Solid Almond, so that he is going to be working as a full-on tank for your team. And some of the things that I do want to let you guys know from the SS tier is going to be Pumpkin Pie. Pumpkin Pie, some people might say, is going to be like an S tier, but the reason why I put Pumpkin Pie at an SS tier is because of the fact that for a lot of new players and for a lot of the different stages, Pumpkin Pie is going to be really good. Some people might say, hey, she just dies too quickly for me. Make sure to put Solid Almond on Pumpkin Pie. If you guys are using something like Searing Raspberry and Swift Chocolate, it's just not really worth it. And because of the fact that she is really squishy and kind of can blow up if she is targeted by someone like, those assassin in episode 12, then you want to be able to have those Solid Almond to actually make her tanky and to survive and take those hits, so that someone like Pure Vanilla, Cotton, as well as Parfait Pomegranate can actually heal the damage that she takes. And of course, with the introduction of the buff that Clotted Cream got, Clotted Cream is going to be at SS tier as well. Great damage to all of the enemies, AoE damage, single hit damage, and also the damage resist buff that he is able to get when he uses his skill is going to be amazing for world exploration. But just keep in mind, if you guys are versing enemies inside episode 14, he tends to kind of kill himself if he is using his skill against like those shield guys. So make sure to not use his skill when you guys are versing that particular enemy, so that he is not killing himself. And also, the reason why I have Sorbet in SS tier rather than S tier, or Vampire not in SS tier and just in S tier, is because of the fact that Sorbet Shark still has this AoE damage that they are able to do, compared to someone like Vampire, who is only able to do a single hit damage to the rearmost enemy. And I will have to say Sorbet Shark is just going to be more viable for you guys and more versatile to be used inside different stages. And also, the reason why I have Caramel Arrow in S tier is because I feel like although she definitely can deal a lot of damage if using the right team and with the right treasure, I'll have to say, Caramel Arrow, if you're not using her properly, and if you guys are not using her with full Solid Almond inside of some of the episodes, then she can die off earlier. So I do just want to put her at S tier for now. And then also Frost Queen, the reason why Frost Queen is at S tier is because, if you guys already know, episode 13 and 14, they are immune to freeze, so she can't really deal any damage to the enemies, as well as bosses. The only boss that you can freeze with Frost Queen's freeze is going to be episode 9 against Strawberry Crepe. So against any other bosses, she is pretty much kind of useless and can't really do any damage. So just keep that in mind when you guys are using Frost Queen in your team. Strawberry Crepe is in that S tier now because Wildberry, Dark Cacao, and Hollowberry are just too strong inside of the world exploration compared to like Strawberry Crepe, although they can be really helpful for something like episode 11 against something like Raspberry, as well as Wizard and Strawberry. I have to say, just overall value, Wildberry as well as Hollowberry and Dark Cacao are just going to be a better frontline tank for you guys when you guys are playing the game. Of course, Licorice is still at S tier. The value that Licorice provides for world exploration is great, but if you guys are thinking about using a cookie and leveling of a cookie to use in both world exploration as well as PvP aspect, then Licorice is going to be coming down in that list, and I would just have to say, go for other cookies there. And also, the reason why Cherry Blossom is at S tier is because Cherry Blossom can deal extra damage to non-cookie enemies, and against stacks of mob, Cherry Blossom is going to be really amazing. And I have to say, if you guys do not have anyone from the SS tier or S tier, just keep in mind, try to keep AoE damage dealers as well as like very strong single hit damage dealer. That's why you know, black raisin as well as squid ink are going to be very good in doing that. Something like espresso latte mango are also going to be very good. And Tina is at A tier because of the fact that if you are planning to clear stages at 3 stars, then you just really can't use T-Knight's ability. So that's the reason why I have T-Knight at A tier. So just the rest of the cookies, guys, you guys can work around it. Of course, I do recommend you guys do invest in something like the SS tier and S tier if you guys have the chance. And if you guys do not, then go with the A plus tier. But also, if you guys are new players as well as lack EXP star jellies, then try to look at both the PvP as well as PvE tier list, and also those cookies that I do recommend on the side, and invest in those so that you guys can use the same cookie for different game modes inside of this game. Anyways, guys, just wanted to quickly go over the PvE aspect of things. Of course, the world exploration doesn't really change. The only thing that really happens is, you know, some cookies coming down because more cookies are being added into the tier list and they're just not being used greatly as they used to anymore. So those are only going to be the couple things that are going to change, but everything else is going to pretty much stay the same for majority of the cookies. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys found the video helpful. Hope you guys are finding the information that I give you guys, the tips and guides, helpful as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.